it all up. We're just preparing for everything right now. So I'm excited. All right, so let's get this call started. So today is October 21st, and if you know, 21 is my favorite number. So we're gonna have a great call, and I'm excited for it. And then most importantly, today's topic is the degrees of leadership difficulty. Okay, degrees of leadership difficulty is today's topic. Now, I want to be able to break this down for you guys because I feel like it's important that everybody understands the importance behind the difficulty that we are upon, right? Like I always teach you guys, right? Leadership is something that we are all a part of, right? Degrees of leadership difficulty. Right? Leadership is something that we do on a day-to-day basis, right? And a lot of us sometimes forget that, you know, we are leaders in all areas of our lives. We are leaders in our homes. We are leaders in our families. We are leaders in our marriages, right? We are leaders in our relationships. We are leaders in our businesses. We are leaders with our brothers, our sisters. Okay, we are leaders in our lives. And you guys all need to understand that there's going to be a level of leadership difficulty that we must all embrace and we all got to understand. Now, I'm going to jump into it here on the whiteboard so you guys can really get it and break it down, okay? So let's talk about it, right? Because I know every single one of you guys really needs to hear a lot of the information that I'm going to break down for you, right? So degrees of leadership difficulty. All right. Now, the first one, all right, is the lowest level. Okay. The lowest level of leadership difficulty is the development is developing yourself as a leader. Okay. That is the lowest level, okay, of leadership difficulty, is developing yourself as a leader. Now, I want you guys to really sit down and think about this with me. And this is coming straight from the man, the myth, the legend himself, John C. Maxwell, okay? John C. Maxwell basically states that the lowest level of leadership difficulty is developing yourself as a leader first. Because remember this, before you can lead others, you have to lead yourself. Okay, before you can lead others, you got to lead yourself, guys. And the reason why I say that is, remember, you can't help someone else break their habits if you haven't broke your habits. You can't tell somebody to get rid of their distractions, all right, if you can't get rid of your own distractions. Okay, I saw someone say, I thought he was gonna say John Cena. That's hilarious. John C. Maxwell, right? But it's so important that we all understand the importance behind this, okay? Because you see, every single one of us have bad habits that we got to get rid of. Every single one of us have distractions in our lives that are holding us back. That video that I was just going over with you guys, okay, right before Mornings with Neno, is called Distractions in the Deep. Okay, and as I was listening to it yesterday, and I highly recommend it for you guys, he was talking about how when you go down the journey of, you know, becoming that better version of you, building that closer relationship with God, and you make the decision to go and follow your purpose, that one distraction could be the one that destroys your empire. Just one distraction could be the one that destroys your empire. Because he was talking about it, okay, in a way, he gave this example, right? He gave this example of these individuals that were headed to a destination, okay? And they were clear and they were set on where they were going, okay? And there was a certain amount of miles that they had to travel in that direction, okay? And when they got to that, and when they got to the destination, they were actually 15 miles away from where they actually said they were going to go. Okay. And when they went back and they looked and they were like, yo, what happened? Why are we 15 miles away from our, destination that we wanted to go to. And we go to the captain and he explains that the captain tells him, you were 1 degree off. You were 1 degree off. And he was like, wait, but I was only 1 degree. How is it that I was only 1 degree off and I'm 15 miles away from my destination? He said, you see, 1 degree off is okay when it's just 1 or 2 steps. But when we're talking about 1 degree off for thousands of steps, okay, it starts to really separate. If I were to give you guys a quick description of it, think about it like this, okay? I want you to think about it like this. This is our goal. This is our destination. Okay, I'm going to put G in there for the goal. Okay, this is where we started. Okay, I'm going to put S here to start. Okay, our goal was to get here. Okay, so in order for us to get here, we have to stay straight on line. Okay, we can't slip. All right, but the problem was we were 1 degree off. So that 1 degree off, after a while, if you sit there and think about it, okay, after miles and miles and miles of traveling, look at what tends to happen. Okay, and that's what happened. He was 1 degree off. He had one habit that was holding him back. He had one distraction that kept holding him back. And that 1 degree, okay, that 1 degree can hold you back more than you know. That one distraction that you have in your life is the one that's holding you back right now. There's one bad habit that you have in your life right now that is holding you back from all the success that you deserve. You need to see that and you got to understand that. It could be waking up late. It could be smoking weed every day. It could be going out and hanging out with your friends. It could be the bad habit that you have of procrastination. It could be the bad habit that you have of starting things and not finishing things. It could be the bad habit that you have to wake up and not pray. The habit that you have to forget to pray before you eat. Okay, there's so many habits that so many of us have that are holding us back from where we go. And if we keep walking down this path of success, if we keep walking down this path that God has for us, okay, and we have these bad habits in place, guess what? We're going to get to the destination that we never wanted to get to. We're going to get to a destination that we never wanted to get to. And that's the problem right there, guys. That's the problem. Some of us are not taking these bad habits that we have and really breaking them. Some of us are okay with it. Some of you, okay, are still not working on the bad habits that you had last week, this week, but you want success. Some of you guys were waking up late last week and you're still waking up late this week. Some of you said you will start reading last month, but you haven't picked up you haven't even picked up a book in the month of October. Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. You see, guys, because I want you all to understand, man. Every one of us on this call, we're all facing some kind of stuff right now, right? And, I'll be vulnerable and let you guys know this year has been the year that I've faced the most spiritual warfare that I faced in all of my life, to be honest. In all of my life, I've never experienced as much spiritual warfare as I've faced this year, honestly. And it might not relate with everybody, but that's me. I faced a lot of things in the face, demons, distractions, habits, mistakes, real spiritual warfare, things that you guys will never understand. Hard stuff. Okay. But I understand and I know that God got my back. Okay. I know that God got my back. And, I'm going to just understand this, right? Because look, I'm still at the lowest level of leadership difficulty. I'm still developing myself as a leader, right? I'm still developing myself as a leader. Guys, look at this stuff. Look at how serious I am about leadership. Look at all my books right here. Look at all the books that I'm reading, right? Look at all the books that I'm going to start reading. John C. Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. The 17 Indisputable Laws of Teamwork, right? Spiritual leadership. I want to know about the 5 love languages, right? Someone even recommended me a kid's book to read that'll help me out a lot. And then look at what we're doing as well. The Leader's Greatest Return. And I have the magic that teaches you about gratitude. And I'm reading the 5 a.m. Club. Guys, I sit here and I study this. I really, really understand this stuff. I really get it. Look, I know that when you are facing these spiritual warfare battles, okay, that I know that I need to become more smarter up here, because the demons and the enemies that I'm fighting are big right now. They're big. They're strong. But I gotta be stronger. I can't fold on what I told my parents I was gonna do. I don't care who left my business. I don't care what happened. I'm gonna grow. I'm gonna do what it takes. I'm gonna wake up early. I'm gonna read the books. I'm gonna listen to the audios. I'm gonna get wiser. I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna start eating better. I'm gonna start working on my physical body. I'm gonna start doing things that I have never done in order for me to get things that I've never had. But too many of us are way too comfortable. We're way too comfortable. We gotta develop us. Dedicate the rest of the year to developing yourself. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Make that one of your top priorities. Get out of your feelings. Everybody has a sad story. I don't want to sit here and tell you guys about my sad story. Everybody got it. But you know what? Every day I put my emotions to the side and I show up. If I would have let my emotions and what I was going through affect me, I wouldn't even be on Mornings with Neno right now. I wouldn't even be on Mornings with Neno right now. I show up every day. The whole year, I haven't missed a call. The only calls I've ever missed this year were calls because I was on flights. But because of anything else, never. Never because I woke up and I didn't feel like doing it. Never. You know why? Because I have a commitment to myself, a commitment to God, and a commitment to the people on this call. I don't care if one person shows up or if 10,000 people show up. I'm here. But you know what I do? I show up and I lead by example every day. Are you showing up and leading by example every day? And look, guys, I have flaws. I'll tell you guys right now, it's easier said than done. It's easier to teach this stuff. Trust me, it's easier for me to read it off a book than actually apply this information. It's a lot easier, trust me. But what I do know is that I'll never quit. What I do know is that my flaws will become my strengths. What I do know is that every mistake I made has made me a better person today. And that's what I want all of you to know and understand, that even though developing yourself as a leader is the lowest level of leadership difficulty, it's probably the most important, because without that level of leadership difficulty, you can't even reach the second or third level. I've been telling people this for a long time. And this year I told people, look, fam, 2021 is not going to be remembered for the accomplishments or the success that we had. 2021 is going to be remembered, all right, because it was one of the hardest years of our lives. It came with the most struggles, the most obstacles, but that was the year. This was the year that made us who we're going to be 2022 and 2023. So don't fold. And if you had people leave your business, if you had people leave and fold on their dreams, they're going to look back a year from now, 2 years from now, and they're going to be like, damn, bro, I should have never left. I should have just stayed true. They proved their faith in God when they folded. You prove your faith in God and you prove your faith in your vision the moment you fold. People prove their loyalty. For what? Because of a struggle? That's what made you fold? A struggle? A challenge? That's why I tell people my favorite moments sometimes throughout the journey is the tough times. Because the tough times exposes who's really there and who's really not going to be there, right? Type a 1 in the chat box if these tough times have exposed people that you never thought would be exposed. People I never thought would be exposed have been exposed. Never. Never in my wildest dream would I have thought that the people that would fold. But I get it. It's the tough times. It's the season, the virus, the vaccines, financial issues. I understand. I get it. I get it. But you know what? I want you guys to remember this. Faith that has not been tested cannot be trusted. Faith that has not been tested cannot be trusted. Those individuals' faith got tested. They folded. Guess what? They can't be trusted. You can't be trusted, bro. Sister, you can't be trusted. Can't be trusted over here, man. Come on, are you serious? You folded. You quit. You stopped. You can't be trusted. We're on a journey to success. We're on the journey to riches. How are you going to stop? How are you going to become emotional all of a sudden? We running up this hill. We're going to make this happen. You stop. You hold us all back. It's no time to be emotional. No time to be, in your feelings. It's time to get to work. It's time to put the work in every day. It's time to keep climbing, and whoever wants to stay. But we're not going to stop, bro. I'm sorry. I love you, fam, but you see that hill up there? You see the peak, the top? That's where we're going, bro. And if you're not coming, then I'm sorry to tell you, bro, you're going to have to make your way back down to the bottom of the mountain. But there's no way I'm going back. There's no way that I will ever go back. No way. There's no way I can ever go back. I can't go back to living the way I was living. And look, I don't forget where I came from. And I'm so grateful, God, for where I came from, God. I'm so grateful. And I say this humbly and I say this respectfully, but I will never, ever go back. And God knows what I'm saying. There's no looking back. I would be going against what God put me on this earth to do if I went back. He knows he equipped me with the skills, with the strength, with the wisdom, with the determination, with the courage for me to climb this hill, for me to climb this mountain. Why would I ever go back to the bottom? I won't be using what God has gifted me with. Okay, if I stopped, if I quit, if I let a small little difficulty prove my loyalty. Type in the chat box, never going back. Type in the chat box, never going back. I'm never going back. Let me do it as well. I'm going to type it as well. I'm never, ever, ever going back. Never going back. Why? Never going back. So if we go back to the degrees of leadership, all right? If we go back to the degrees of leadership, the lowest level is developing yourself as a leader. You can't go back, because if you go back, guess what? There's other people that's going to believe, damn, bro, if Neno didn't do it, There's no way I'm going to do it. So let me just pack my stuff up and let me go. Neno left. Neno stopped climbing. You best believe I'm going to stop climbing. That's why you can never stop, because there's people that are looking at you and they're like, yo, I can't go back. Not for me. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Even if you wanted to, you can't. Because that's it. Whatever you start, you finish. Whatever you start, you finish, no matter how hard it gets. Let the people in your life that folded and proved their loyalty and proved their strength, let them be the ones. Let them prove themselves. Remember, at the end of the day, it's only 3% of us anyways that are going to make it. It's only 3% of us anyways that's going to make it. So it's okay. Number 2 is the middle level. Is developing others as leaders. That's the middle level, okay? Now, we all got to understand, and like I said, at the lowest level, right, it says you can't lead others until you lead yourself. So the moment you start to develop yourself, you'll start to develop others. Right? I've developed multiple six-figure earners, not just 1 or 2, more than 2. Not just in my company and on my team, but in other companies and in other teams. Okay, you know why? Because I took the time to develop myself as a leader. And you know what's funny? I still have so much to learn. It blows my mind when I think about it sometimes, that I've been able to develop so many incredible leaders all around this industry and this world, and I'm still not even the best version of myself. I truly believe I'm not even at 50% of my best version yet, to be real. I'm not even at 50% yet, to be 100% with you guys. So if I was able to do so much with so little, imagine how much we're going to be able to do when we have so much. And you know who I give all the credit to? Who you think I give all the credit and praise to? To God. Because without him, none of this would have been possible. None of this would have been possible. Okay? This is all God's plan. All of this. I was just used as one of his vessels. He leveraged me. He said, Nano, come here. You're going to do this. This is your purpose. This is the plan. This is all divine right here. And the fact that every single one of you guys on this call, all the thousands of you on this call right now, the fact that you guys are here with me right now tells me that God has chosen you guys to hear the information straight from me, because you guys were all chosen to be successful. Every single one of you on this call was chosen to become the best version of yourself, to help you guys break the generational curses and create the generational wealth for your family and be able to travel the world and give back to communities and walk in your purpose and build a closer relationship with God and get rid of all those traumas that you had as little kids and all the bad things that happened to you guys. We're going to get rid of all of that on Mornings with Nano. Type an amen in the chat box for that one. All of it happens right here on Mornings with Nano. And because we have taken the time to develop ourselves, guess what we're doing next? We're developing others, right? Because guess what, guys? And I want you guys to finish this I want you guys to finish this sentence for me. The service to many leads to it leads to greatness. It leads to greatness. And we all going to be great. And we're all going to be successful. And we're all going to live abundantly. Okay, remember, money is not the flex. Money is not a flex. You know what the real flex is? Peace of mind and enlightenment. That's the real flex. Peace of mind and enlightenment. That's the real flex. What's money with no peace? What's all this success, all this clothes with no enlightenment? What's all this materialistic stuff if we don't even have a relationship with God? The higher version of us, the best version of us. Peace, joy, and enlightenment. I love that one. You got to understand this stuff, fam. So it's going to get a little harder, right? Remember, look, guys, there's people that have joined and have been a part of this platform. They haven't even got past the lowest level of leadership difficulty, which was developing themselves as leaders. That's one of the hardest things you could do. Some people have such bad habits and such bad distractions in their lives that they haven't even been able to get through the lowest level of leadership difficulty. They haven't even developed others as leaders because they haven't even been able to develop themselves. I'm preparing you guys for 2022. I'm preparing you guys. I've been in this journey now for 4 years. And look at the stuff that I'm working on. Look at the stuff that I fight with and the individuals and the things that I have to do at year 4. Some of you guys are still in year 1, year 2, if that. Majority of people here, I promise you, are less than 2 years in. Look, 8 months, less than a year, 3 months. Look at this. Most people here, 7 months, 1 year, 6 months, a year, 90 days, 1 year, 1 year. Look, just take a look. Look in the chat box. Barely you see anyone there that says they have more than 2 years. Guys, man, I saw somebody that said 7 years. Who was that? Wealthy Guardian Macias. Shout out to you, fam. But it just goes to show, guys, it takes time. This journey takes time. Time. Things I must experience. It takes time. And you got to see that and you got to understand that. You got to be patient. You got to trust it. All right. Right now I'm reading the book 5 a.m. Club, and the billionaire has taken the entrepreneur and the artist to India to see one of the wonders of the world, the Taj Mahal. And he's literally sitting there and he's explaining to them that, you know, the king, or I forgot what it was the king, his wife had passed away. And he built the Taj Mahal to basically as a representation of his appreciation for his wife. And it talks about, you know, how it took 22 years, right? It took 22 years to build the Taj Mahal. 22 years to build an empire. Guys, what if I told you it's going to take you 20 years to build your empire? What if it takes you 20 years to build your empire? And he says it in the book. It's so beautiful the way he explains it, right? And let me see if I could find the exact page where he talks about it. This is what he said. Look, listen to this. He says, to remain loyal to your noble idea, not only during the weeks after you thought up the dream, but over the long months and perhaps the extended years in the parched desert of creative implementation, while you endure rejection, exhaustion, the stones of jealous peers, the skepticism of your loved ones, being diverted by attractive opportunities, and finding your way through the isolated winters of self-doubt. This is what separates the also-rans from the icons. Anyone can be great for a minute. The sport of icons is sustaining genius grade performance over a lifetime. And that takes an unusual grit and patience uncommon in these superficial times, the kind that majority of society today has sadly failed to develop. So what did he say right there? Just to give you guys an idea, he says to remain loyal to your noble idea, not only during the weeks after you thought of the dream, but long after the month. So whatever you said you were going to do, if you said you were going to retire your mom and dad, if you said you were going to travel the world, if you said you were going to impact the lives of thousands of people, remember, some people think that they got to stay loyal to their mentors or uplines. No, you got to stay loyal to the idea, to your dream. I've had bad mentors. I've had bad uplines, and they've left, and they're not in the business. But guess what? I kept my eyes. I was loyal to me. I was loyal to the vision. I was loyal to my team, right? And he says this, and he says, while you endure rejection, exhaustion, the stones of the jealous peers, okay, the stones of jealous peers, the skepticisms that come from your loved one, being diverted by another attractive opportunity. Oh, this business might be better, or this company is better, or so on and so forth, right? He says, and being able to find your way through the isolated winters of self-doubt. He said, this is what separates the average people from the icons. He said, anyone can be great for a minute, but it takes an incredible amount of effort to be great for a lifetime, right? It takes an incredible amount of discipline to be great for a lifetime, okay? And you got to know that, and you got to understand that. He says, this kind of patience, right, is what majority of society today has sadly failed to develop. It's the truth. It is the truth. All right. So that was number 2. And then number 3, to wrap it up, is the highest level of leadership difficulty. The highest level of leadership difficulty is developing a team of leaders. Okay. But the only way you can develop a team of leaders is you got to develop a small group of leaders. You got to develop a few, right? Because the way I look at it is like this, okay? This is me, right? It's kind of like the story in the Bible, right? Jesus had 12 disciples, right? I developed 12 leaders, right? And those 12 go develop hundreds of people. That's how it works. That's how it works. Did you know, family, that being successful is not hard at all? You develop yourself as a leader first, right? Look, this is, let me, hello? Yeah, let them in, please. So, sorry, I have somebody coming in for the AC, but developing and becoming successful in life is actually not as hard as you think. All right. We have ourselves first. We have to develop ourselves. Then we got to find a group of individuals that we want to develop. Okay. So let's say I develop myself, and then I develop others. Those others are then going to develop a team. And that's how it works. You see, I would have never been able to develop an organization of almost 2,000 people if I didn't develop myself, then develop other leaders, and those leaders then developed others. trust me, it's the game changer right there. If you can understand that right there, it'll make all the difference. See it, embrace it, understand it, because I'm telling you guys, this is what it's going to take. If you want to see massive success, you got to see that. It's open.
How you doing?
Doing great.
¿Dónde está liqueando el aire?
Aquí en la...
¿En el baño?
No, en el baño aquí, pero aquí también en la cocina, por favor.
¿Dónde está liqueando aquí?
No, aquí.
Estaba liqueando ahí. So, with that being said, guys, that right there is about everything I wanted to share with you guys when it came to, you know, the importance of developing yourself as a leader, right? It's important that you guys really understand, okay, that we must first develop ourselves, then we develop other leaders, and then we develop a team of leaders, okay? All right, so you got to see that and you got to understand that, all right? One more time. Number one, you develop yourself, lowest level. Number two, you develop other leaders, and then you develop a team of leaders. And once you do that right there, the game will be changed forever, forever and ever and ever. And that's something that has helped me so much over the last few years, because it has really taken me to a whole nother level. All right, fam. So if you guys got value from today's